Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports Card Madness, brought to you by DraftKings and their app Pick Six. Sign up with code Madness6 for $50 in free credits. This is LZ. I'm here with Nick. Today on the show, we're going to be covering a cybersecurity incident that happened in the hobby.
Mm.
I recently did a strictly YouTube episode on this, and I wanted to get Nick's opinion. Nick, it's funny. It's like the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Me and Nick kind of have that relationship when it comes to cybersecurity. For those that don't know, I've been in cybersecurity industry for 20 plus years. And Nick is always challenging me on, do I even need a password? Why do I even need a password?
Okay, let him
Or
have my information. Not only
I don't
that,
care.
but
I don't care.
well, I won't go there, but I did some
Yeah.
fun things in the early 90s
Mm.
too. So,
Yeah, yeah. So it's buried deep. It's buried deep for you. But we also want to even cater to our audio audience because our people who only listen to us on audio did not see the YouTube video.
right.
So let me break down what happened. And this is hobby related, everybody. So collectibles.com, they actually, a researcher found that they were exposing almost a million user records online. They have this database, and the database was just exposed online, and there are millions of users on this site, but roughly about 900,000 users' records. So their name, their profile pictures, their transaction history, their email addresses, like a lot of sensitive information was exposed. And shout out to a company called Cyber News. They have a research team that actually uncovered this, reported it to collectibles.com. And yeah, so now we're here. So what we want to do is I want to talk a little bit of what happened and fill Nick in on what happened and really talk to you if you're a business owner who's listening to this, maybe some things you can do to prevent something like this from happening maybe on your website. And then secondly, probably more importantly, because I'm sure we're all consumers. So you as a consumer, what are some things you can do to at least protect yourself if something like this does happen?
Right.
All right. Does that sound good, Nick?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like something gets hacked every day, and it's like,
Mm.
how many places do I buy from in a given year? Like 100, and it's like 20 of them every year are hacked. So it's like, really, do I gotta like change my identity every year and like change my stupid pat? Like, I'm tired of it. So I just like, I hate it. I hate it
Yeah.
all. But I do
Yeah.
two-factor stuff ever since, we had a little,
Bravo.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I had
Hmm.
somebody who was, I don't know, somehow they were they'd hacked into my Tesla account and they were buying chargers, shipping them to like an apartment in New York. And I didn't notice for like a
You
few
get a
months.
charger, and you get
You
a
get a charger, you
charger, and
get a
everybody
charger.
gets a charger.
And then I was like, ah, geez. And then I had to set
Hmm.
up that really, really annoying, the most annoying security thing you've ever told me to do.
What?
You go into your app and it like you have 15 seconds to like enter a code, and then you go back to the
Yeah.
website. That
All right.
sucks.
I will explain. We will explain. We'll explain that. So I did do the intro. So again, it's collectibles.com, and I guess they were formerly known as Cardbase.
Okay.
And
I
this
never
is a
even heard of
market.
them. I thought it was
No,
collectors.
I mean it's a great website. Kudos to them for getting that domain name,
Yeah,
collectibles.com.
no
I
kidding.
mean, geez, that's awesome. So they're a marketplace. So you can buy, you can sell. I think you might even be able to trade or at least kind of just show off collections and what have you. So this research firm was just doing research and they found databases. So websites have different databases that are going to store information, right? You might have a credit card database. You might have all your users, their contact information in a database. And one of their databases was just wide open on the network on the internet.
What did
Wide
people
open.
get? What did they get out of this? Like what information?
All right. So what information? We had full names.
All right.
We
So
had
they know it's,
um,
Steve Smith. They know
yep.
that.
They had email addresses. They had account details. So just kind of settings that they have set up. They had your card sales.
Oh, interesting.
So
So
they can
now they can
start.
actually target.
Yeah,
Yeah.
though, no, this person, oh, these sales, there's a lot of sales going on with this person. This person might have some money. Maybe I can go defraud them. And the other
Oh, I
thing
didn't
too,
think of that. I was thinking like, oh, this guy likes MJ cards. Let's
let's
sell it to like sell it to some company that's going to market to him. I didn't think of that. Oh,
well,
he's a whale. Let's go after him.
totally could do that. The other thing you could do is you could create phishing attacks against them related to MJ,
Because you have their
right? This
email
because
addresses.
you have their email, you have a lot of things you can
So
do with
phishing,
them.
you want to explain that to the audience?
So phishing. All right. So phishing, I'm sure you've all received a phishing email before at this point. But in the past, maybe we talked about it as spam. It's those emails that kind of get that most of them are in your junk folder. But there's two different ones. Some people get them confused. So spam is you keep getting this I don't know, Home Depot keeps peppering you with advertisements and you're just annoyed and that's
Yeah.
spam. But what phishing is it's an opportunistic email that an attacker, a malicious actor, is trying to fool you or trick you into doing something. So some of the more popular ones are um, your password is going to expire by the end of the day. Please click on this link to reset your password. And it's supposed to look like maybe it's coming from Microsoft or from your
Yeah.
company,
Or
but
there's a
it's
problem
really
with your,
not.
I get this text a lot. It'll say, this is the postal service. There's a problem with your package. You got to click this
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's got a problem with the package in America, right?
Sure.
So like it's a
Mm-hmm.
nice wide text. And then
Yep.
if you look very carefully, you've trained me to look at the actual sender and make,
Yes.
like the postal service isn't texting you stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's the password resets. There's also click on this link, and that link contains malware. And once you get malware on
So
your
they can do
machine,
this
it can
because
take it.
now they have your email, they have your name. They
They
can
have
say,
your email.
"Hey
They
Steve,"
have your. So what
like,
they could do, what I would do, Nick, especially if I know that maybe you have a lot of transactions on collectibles.com, I would create a fake collectibles.com email and I would send you and say,
oh,
Nick, your recent purchase of the Michael Jordan card
brilliant.
did not go through. Please provide us with a new credit card number.
And it's like a phone number they call, and it's some guy just like, yeah,
Or
hey,
I'll just make it even more convenient. Just email me, Nick. Just
just
give me the
email
new
me
credit card over
right
the
over the
email.
email.
Right? So
Wow.
that those are the types of things that can happen. The other thing you can do with this information, Nick, is you can use it to open up other accounts in your name, Nick. Right? I
Mm.
have some information, right? I have your full name, I got your email address. Some of the people's profile pictures are also stolen too. So if you have your picture as your profile picture, well, shoot, I could probably create a Facebook page for you, but it's not really you. So these are just some of the many things that you can do with this. Now, I want to make it very
Huh.
clear. This report did not state that this information was stolen. What it did state was they were able to access it. And if they can access it, anyone could have accessed it over a
Okay. So
period
it
of
was
time.
like available to
It was
be
available, right? The,
accessed.
the door was
Stolen is
open.
a different term, I guess.
Yeah,
It
you
was like
needed to
open
know.
source, is what you're saying, for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the door was open, Nick. If you knew where the door was, you could walk in and view all the stuff.
All right. So I'm Steve Smith.
Hmm.
And man, I spent, I was into MJ and I spent like 10 grand on this site or whatever,
Hmm.
and I'm a little worried, I just got this like email saying no, forget it. I didn't get an email. I just saw this
Yeah.
news.
Hmm.
Okay. And I know
Hmm.
I'm on that site
Hmm.
and I'm like, damn, all right. What do I do, dude?
All right. So again, this was not reported, but I would still do it anyways. It was not reported that any passwords were stolen or viewed, but I don't care.
Yeah.
My first step is I'm
Change your
going
password.
on that website and I'm changing my password. If you really care about collectibles.com and you're a true, fan and you love going on there, I would also see if they have an option for multi-factor authentication. That sounds like a kind of a very heavy, detailed word. We have all been using multi-factor authentication since you've had a debit card. It's
Yeah.
something you have and something you know. So
Mm.
your debit card is something you have, and something you know is the PIN that you enter. So we've all been using multi-factor for, geez, 30 years now, all of
Okay.
us. Your bank is probably forcing you to use multi-factor today.
Right.
They're sending you a code to your phone or to an email address or what have you. So I would definitely try to set up multi-factor. There is a very, very good chance that you are reusing your password on other sites. You just are. I know you all are. Everybody who's listening, you definitely are. You are. So when things like this happen, you need to go change your passwords on your other sites
I got a question
because,
about this.
yeah. Hmm.
So I understand that. It's,
Yep.
like how many people are really going to do it, right? So I know like the iPhone tries to make it easy and they say, would you like to use a stronger password?
Yes. Hmm.
The reason I haven't done that before is because I'm like, I am never going to remember that. And I'm worried like my phone's going to fall in the toilet or, I'm going to like, I don't know,
Mm.
not be able to access it. How do you feel about that? Like to change your
I
passwords?
I love that.
Okay.
I love it. So on my YouTube video, I actually recommended, especially that the consumer, not for businesses, but for consumers like all of us, I highly recommend you using your iPhone password manager or your Google password manager to nix fears around you forgetting your password. The great thing is the iPhone password is your iCloud password, or you can use your face or your thumbprint as well. All right. So you don't have to worry about remembering the password, Nick. To your other point around it falling in the toilet, doesn't matter. It's connected to your iCloud. Even if that phone falls in the toilet, you still get your password manager.
All
All right.
right. All right.
And that is a great way to manage all your passwords seamlessly. It's even easier, everybody, because when you're logging into these websites, you don't have to enter a password anymore. Your MacBook or your phone is just going to
I
automatically
always
enter the
worry that
password
like
for
like
you.
LastPass and stuff like that. What if they get hacked? And
Well,
then
that
it's
has
like,
happened. That has
yeah.
happened.
Then you're like, oh
It
my God, they have everything.
it has. It has. But you know what? Even if that does happen, you're still better off than you reusing your password over and over and over and over again. It's worth the risk of maybe in a slight chance one of these password companies gets hacked. You want to know you don't ever want to reuse a password. So those are some tips I would take. The other thing I would say, oh, back to the phishing, Nick, if I could.
Hmm.
There's a couple rules with emails, everybody. All right. I'm going to give you a couple rules. Nick mentioned one of them, but I'll redo it. So the reason why I want to bring up phishing is if you are involved in one of these attacks or well, again, I don't want to say it was an attack, one of these exposures, there is a high chance that you're going to get phished. Very, very high chance.
Okay.
You should never open up an email or interact with an email unless you can answer yes to the two following questions. Number one, I know who the sender is. If you don't know who the sender is, delete the email.
Okay.
Number two, I was expecting the email. If you weren't expecting the email, delete the email.
Hmm.
All right.
I like
And you're
it.
going to say, well, you know what, Larry? I didn't know Walmart was going to send me an invoice, but maybe I really do owe them money. You know what? Go directly to walmart.com and deal with your invoice that way. Do not click on the link. Do not go
All right.
past go.
I like
All
it.
right. And then Nick mentioned the other one that I've trained him on is look at the actual sender of an email.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
It's
Right.
just
If you click
garbage.
on the link, you can see where it is. It might say it's coming from walmart.com, but if you click on it, Nick, it's actually going to wherever.
I got
Wherever.
actually a really quick tip for
All right.
PayPal transactions that just reminded me of. If you're
Mm,
doing a deal with somebody like in a chat board or something for a card and it's PayPal, okay, and you're going to transact through PayPal, we know to do goods and services, but this is even further. Like I've had a couple people, Antonio, this happened to him in the group. They will send a very nice looking PayPal like I
yeah.
sent this transaction email to him. Okay. They
Mm,
will send that and they'll be like, I sent the money. I sent the money. Come on. I sent the money. Send the card. And they didn't send the money. If your balance still says zero, they didn't send the money. Don't
they
let them
didn't send
pressure
it.
you into thinking
No.
otherwise.
No. Especially PayPal. It's like one of the biggest financial transaction companies in the world. All right. Um, so yes, I would leave it at that. Now, if you're a business owner, what can you do to prevent maybe one of your databases from being exposed? Hire a pen tester, a
Pen
penetration
tester.
tester, a
Okay.
penetration tester. So there are plenty of services out there that will actually scan your website and they basically pretend that they're hackers and they'll try to break into your website. And let's call it 10 years ago, these were super expensive to do. But now you could probably do your business website for, shoot, I would say $3,000 at the most. At the most, that would be an expensive one. So that is a great thing to do, is just to test your website at least once or twice a year, as a small business owner, at
Okay.
least. And certainly if you're an enterprise, you want to do it more than that. So that would be a really good thing to do as well, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm. All right. So do you agree with all of mine? Are you skeptical of any of the things that I recommended to you?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do
Yeah.
my best. I'll change things if they get hacked. I
Mm.
try to change my passwords when I can, but um, it's just exhausting, man. And it's like I'd almost rather get hacked like every now and then than do all this painful stuff. But
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Well, I mean, the tips I'm giving you are they're supposed to be easy, right? They're supposed to be easy. That password manager is going to make things a heck of a lot easier for you. Nick, you don't have to enter that password anymore with a password manager. I just saved you 2 seconds every time you have to go to a website and enter a password. Two
All right.
seconds every
All
time.
right. All
You
right.
don't have to
Yeah.
do it anymore,
Well, yeah,
right?
but the two-factor it's like really annoying. It's like another 10 seconds every time. I hate it. But I get it. I get it.
Do it for your email, do it for your banks, do it
Yeah.
for your health insurance, all that good stuff. So, I mean, hopefully we don't see this in the hobby again, but there's a
Yeah.
really good
God help
chance
us
we
if it's
are.
like PSA or Golden or something like that. And
Yeah.
then it's like, imagine if they had the identities of people that bought
Mm.
some of these things. Hasn't happened yet. So thankfully, we don't have to go there. So,
Yeah, and I will give a shout out to collectibles.com. They heard about the report from these researchers and they went and fixed it. So it is closed now. So they did the right thing. These researchers found it. They went and fixed it. So, job well done. Um, but hopefully we don't see too many more of these exposures.
okay.
All right, let's get to question of the day, Nick.
This one's mine, right?
Yeah, this one's yours.
All right. I was thinking of all this like crime and, like cybercrime and stuff like that. And I'm like, I was thinking of cool heist movies. What is your favorite
Mm.
heist movie?
No, this is fitting, isn't it? This is
Yeah,
fitting for
it's
this
perfect.
this episode. Favorite heist movie. Okay. The one that comes to mind, well, there's a couple that come to mind, but the original, well, not the original, the original Tom Cruise Mission Impossible wasn't well, it kind of was a heist. Like I remember that scene where he's in that like crazy Fort Knox room and he's like up in the ceiling and he falls from the ceiling with like ropes on him and he comes like inches from hitting the floor. And if he hit the floor, like all the alarms would go off. And, a bead of sweat is like dripping from his face. And if that sweat falls on the ground, like everything's going to go off, all the alarms. And at the very last second, he like puts his hand in the way to catch the bead of sweat. I love all the Mission Impossible ones. So they're not, I don't think they're doing anything malicious in those, but they all kind of, a lot of scenes are like they got to go try to steal something or do something. So
Yeah, I like
that one
that.
stands out. Yeah. What about for you?
I thought of like, I mean, there's so many cool heist movies, right? Like I love all the Ocean's 11 stuff and
Mm,
some of the older movies, but there was one movie that had a great plot to it. It's called Inside Man. It had
okay.
Denzel Washington and it had Clive Owen and actually Jodie Foster.
Huh.
I'm actually going to say spoiler alert, okay? Spoiler alert, because this is going to ruin the movie. All right. If you have not seen this movie, put your earmuffs on for the next 5 to 10 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
The most amazing, simple concept. The dude was just like, there was a bank robbery and they were trying to find out who it is.
Mhm.
And at the end, they found out he was living inside the walls of the bank the entire time. They were like looking for
Ooh.
him. They were looking for him within the vicinity, in the area, in the bank. There was no trace of him. He had a bucket to piss in. He had some sandwiches, and he was just living in the bank until 7, 8 days went by. They reopened the bank, puts on a bank outfit, a little bit of a disguise, and walks
And
right out.
walks out. Is that how it ends?
That's how it ends.
Oh, really? I don't think it vaguely sounds
I
familiar.
said spoiler alert twice. Okay,
No,
so
you did. You did. It vaguely sounds. I think I probably did. I
it's
feel
so
like I
good.
can picture the walkout scene. I think I can.
Yeah, so
So
that's my
yeah.
favorite.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
man. All right.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.